Hey everybody, welcome in. It is the Doug Russell Television Show for this Monday, March 23rd. We've got a lot to get to on today's program and not a lot of time. The first thing we do each and every day is go back into the Milwaukee Braves hat and pick out a name to spotlight from the 2009 Milwaukee Brewers. And today that is first baseman Prince Fielder, who came into camp a lot slimmer and a lot happier than he did last year. Had his contract renewed a year ago for just over $620,000, which for you and me, that's a lot of money. But for Prince Fielder, someone who a year prior to that hit 50 home runs, he wasn't very happy about it. Now he's got a 2-year, $20 million contract and some cost certainty for the Brewers and some salary certainty for Prince. He's come in slimmer, he's come in happier, and he's saying all the right things. He and Ryan Braun are going to be the team leaders of this Milwaukee Brewers team for at least the next couple of years. I'd love to see Prince stick around for a lot longer than that. We'll see. As his weight comes down a little bit, hopefully the batting average comes up a little bit, but he carried this team in September and is going to be a massively important part of the Brewers in 2009. An absolute superstar in waiting, just ready to burst out, but he's already had a couple of good years under his belt.
Oh, I have sizzle.
Of course, that can only mean one thing. 1,048 days as the countdown continues. 1,048 days since Ted Thompson signed a major free agent. That, of course, was Charles Woodson. As far as the brackets are concerned, I don't know how you're doing right now. I'm 36-12. My three teams, of course, this weekend all lost in succession. We all know about first the Badgers and then Marquette. Also, USC lost to Michigan State, which was painful, but regardless, 36-12 for my bracket so far. As far as Marquette, Dominic James, courageous effort definitely yesterday out there on the floor in Boise, but it was obvious that he was at least 1 or 2 steps behind what we're normally seeing Dominic James play at. So a courageous effort, but regardless whether or not Marquette was better served by him in the lineup or not, that's probably negligible. One thing that I did see is that Bo Ryan is maybe one of the best tournament coaches that we've seen in this state in a long, long time. Wisconsin had no business being on the same floor as Missouri yesterday, and yet they hung with them throughout most of the game, so good job by Bo Ryan and the guys over there in Madison. Also, the World Baseball Classic wraps up for Team USA. They lose to Japan. I heard perhaps the worst take I've ever heard on my way into work on Monday morning this morning from Jason Smith on ESPN Radio. And don't ask me why I was listening to that. I'd rather listen to reruns of JT the Brick all night long on Fox Sports Radio than the drivel that I heard from Jason Smith. But regardless, as I was jumping around the stations during a break on Fox Sports Soup this morning, I heard Jason Smith actually say that because Team USA has no hope of ever winning the World Baseball Classic, we should just pull out because it's a no-win situation.
We have a nominee
Dum 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 dum
for worst take of the year.
dum 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 dum.
What a horrible defeatist attitude that was, and Jason Smith ought to be ashamed of himself for putting that absolute nonsense out on national radio. But regardless, congratulations to the guys that did show up for Team USA. They lose to Japan yesterday. The Team Japan, they'll go on to face Korea in the WBC championship game, which is coming up. That'll do it for today's edition of the Doug Russell Television Show right here on sportsradio1250.com. Don't forget to check us out tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, starting at 5 on the Doug and Mike Show, cooked up by George Webb Restaurants on Sports Radio 1250 WSSB, as well as right here on sportsradio1250.com.
Doug Russell Show, Doug Russell Show, Doug Russell Show.